Buddha and his followers once set out on an extended journey. After a long day of walking, they decided to rest beside a lake. Buddha instructed his youngest and most impatient disciple to fetch some water from the lake. So the disciple went. However, upon reaching the lake, he saw that a group of oxen had crossed it, muddying the water. The disciple thought to himself, "I can't bring this dirty water to Buddha." He returned and informed Buddha about the state of the water. Buddha said nothing, but after a short while, he asked the disciple again to bring water from the lake. As expected, the water was still muddy. Buddha then asked his disciple the same question once more. Frustrated and grumbling, the disciple went to the lake, expecting the water to still be dirty and undrinkable. To his surprise, the water was now crystal clear. The muddiness had been temporary. After some time, the mud settled, and the water cleared up on its own. The monk couldn't have forced the water to clear faster, and any attempt to speed up the process might have made it worse. Psychiatrist and philosopher Viktor Frankl once said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." End quote. In the monk's situation, he couldn't alter the muddiness of the lake or Buddha's repeated request for water. He couldn't change these circumstances, so the only option was to change his attitude toward them. Just as the muddy water would eventually clear by itself, the monk needed to wait patiently for nature to take its course, which was a lesson Buddha aimed to impart. Patience would have spared the monk from anger and dissatisfaction. This video explores several advantages of patience and why it is a form of power. Patience and impatience. As illustrated by Buddha's story, impatience causes suffering to the impatient person and possibly to those around them. An impatient individual feels dissatisfaction with the current situation, which can be intense enough to result in an angry outburst. For example, road rage resulting from traffic jams demonstrates this. Impatience is not only uncomfortable but also futile. It signifies an unwillingness to accept life as it unfolds, desiring instead for the world to conform to our desires. We want immediate changes and instant results, but external circumstances are beyond our control. Patience as a virtue involves accepting what is. According to Oxford Languages, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. End quote. When practiced daily, patience offers several benefits, including reducing dissatisfaction, aiding in better decision-making, and improving interactions with others. Let's explore 5 key benefits of patience. Benefit number 1. Often, rushing things doesn't contribute to achieving our goals and can even be counterproductive. A prior video discussed the Taoist principle of Wu Wei, which is the art of effortless action. It recounted a story of a farmer who tried desperately to grow his crops, but his efforts clashed with nature's course, proving ineffective. Taoist wisdom observes that forcing matters often backfires and leads to failure. Nature follows its own plan and pace, functioning optimally without our interference. Philosopher Michel de Montaigne noted, "The general order of things that takes care of fleas and moles also takes care of men, if they will have the same patience that fleas and moles have, to leave it to itself." End quote. Taoist philosophy suggests we either align with nature's flow and navigate life more easily or fight against it, expending much effort for minimal gain. Patience allows us to adapt to nature's rhythm, letting it guide us more effectively. An example of patience in action is creativity. Creative impulses often emerge spontaneously, and we can't force creativity. Writer's block typically follows attempts to force creativity. However, if we stop trying and let it be, creativity often returns. Charles Bukowski's poem, "So You Want to Be a Writer," advises, "If you have to wait for it to roar out of you, then wait patiently. If it never does roar out of you, do something else." Benefit number 2. Careful consideration often leads to better outcomes compared to doubt and overthinking. Doubt and overthinking are repetitive and rarely lead to effective resolutions. In contrast, careful consideration involves evaluating various options and potential outcomes using logic and reason, requiring mental clarity. When overwhelmed by emotions, our decisions are often driven by impulses like anger or fear. For instance, ending a friendship during a heated argument might lead to regret. Exercising patience before making decisions allows us to act with clarity and calm. In this context, patience serves as self-control, helping emotions dissipate before acting. Practical wisdom, such as sleeping on it or counting to 10, are straightforward methods to apply patience in decision-making. Benefit number 3. Impatience can drive people to frustration. Waiting is generally disliked, and impatience often means we let external factors dictate our feelings. The ancient Stoics found this problematic, as letting external events influence our emotional state means we are controlled by outside forces. A frequent source of frustration is waiting for a train, only to discover it's delayed. People often fidget on the platform, visibly irritated when the train doesn't arrive as expected. Soon after, another announcement extends a delay even further. As a result, some commuters become angry and start cursing. However, those who remain patient simply acknowledge the delay and wait for the train with minimal distress. As previously mentioned, impatience arises from dissatisfaction with current conditions. Conversely, patience helps us accept these conditions without letting them disrupt our peace. Why let ourselves be swayed by things we cannot control, such as delayed trains, muddy water, or difficult individuals? Through patience, our calmness remains unaffected by these challenges. 4. Perseverance and success. Benefit number 4. Perseverance can lead to long-term achievements. To persist, one needs patience, the ability to forego immediate results, which many people seek today. It's common for people to start something but fail to follow through, such as attempting to lose weight or build muscle. They may begin with enthusiasm, but soon lose motivation and give up. This loss of drive usually stems from focusing too much on results rather than the process. When outcomes don't materialize as quickly as hoped, dissatisfaction and impatience set in. Without immediate results, many people abandon their efforts, which would otherwise eventually lead to success. Writer and philosopher Elbert Hubbard observed, "How many a man has thrown up his hands at a time when a little more effort, a little more patience would have achieved success." End quote. If one remains patient while working toward a goal, the lack of immediate results won't be discouraging. Patience helps us endure or accept delays. A story about a farmer growing bamboo highlights how patience can lead to necessary persistence. Bamboo seeds take 5 years to begin growing. During this time, the farmer must water and care for them without visible progress. For years, it might seem as if the effort is futile, and the bamboo will never grow. Yet, the farmer remained patient, trusted the process, and continued his efforts. After 5 years of consistent care, the bamboo suddenly grew rapidly. The farmer's patience was rewarded. This story parallels many modern examples where patience helps achieve long-term goals. For example, investing in the stock market typically requires decades to realize significant gains from compound interest. New businesses generally take about 3 to 4 years to become profitable. Success on YouTube might come sooner with luck, but it usually takes years if it happens at all. Patience allows us to endure these periods of unacknowledged effort. Summoning such patience is undoubtedly challenging. It's tough, but its potential rewards are great. 5. Tolerance for others. Benefit number 5. We do not control others' actions or will. Consequently, those around us may act in ways we dislike or fail to meet our expectations. Many people expect others to behave according to their preferences, and when they don't, they experience dissatisfaction. Disputes between couples often arise when one party's actions or inactions conflict with the other's desires and expectations. We become impatient because we want people to act differently, despite having no control over their behavior or thoughts. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius understood that we cannot choose the people who come into our lives. We will encounter ungrateful, deceitful, rude, and ill-intentioned individuals, regardless of our preferences. There's nothing we can do about this. However, We can change our attitude toward them. We can choose to let these people disturb us, or we can accept their presence as inevitable and avoid letting it affect us. By being patient with others, we not only reduce their ability to disrupt our peace of mind, but also accept their flaws and, consequently, their humanity. In his book, The Hidden Power of Kindness, missionary Lawrence Lovasic stated, "The practice of patience toward one another, the overlooking of one another's defects, and the bearing of one another's burdens is the most elementary condition of all human and social activity in the family, in the professions, and in society." End quote. Patience enhances tolerance toward others, helps us listen before speaking, increases empathy and forgiveness, and minimizes the likelihood of regrettable reactions. It's a habit that strengthens our overall approach to the world and ourselves. Impatience signifies intolerance, folly, weakness, and suffering. Patience represents tolerance, wisdom, strength, and serenity. This is why patience is power. Thank you for watching.